For decades, home ownership has been called the American dream. But with rising home prices, lifestyle changes, and the flexibility of renting, is that dream still worth chasing? Stick around as we explore the financial benefits, the hidden costs of owning, and why renting might just give you more freedom to live the life you want. Renting a home often offers greater flexibility, financial efficiency, and lifestyle adaptability compared to home ownership. Key advantages include the ability to adjust living arrangements to suit changing circumstances, better utilisation of time for wealth-building endeavours, and the freedom to explore diverse lifestyles without the long-term commitment and financial burden of ownership. Life has a way of throwing curveballs, and our living needs often shift as circumstances change. Renting offers a unique ability to adapt quickly to these changes. For instance, a young professional accepting a new job in a different city can easily relocate closer to work, cutting down commute times and improving their overall work-life balance. In tougher economic periods, renting also provides the option to downsize to a more affordable home, alleviating financial strain and offering stability in uncertain times. This adaptability simplifies logistics and supports psychological well-being. The freedom to move as life demands eliminates the weight of long-term mortgages and extensive property management responsibilities. This freedom allows renters to focus on their priorities, whether that's career advancement, nurturing family relationships, or pursuing personal growth without being tied down by the constraints of property ownership. For many households, life is marked by evolving responsibilities. Whether it's welcoming a new family member, caring for aging relatives, or navigating a major life transition, renting provides a level of adaptability that home ownership often can't. Caregiving families, for example, frequently need housing that can accommodate their unique needs, such as extra bedrooms, accessible layouts, or proximity to support networks. Renting allows them to find homes that match their current requirements, without the burden of long-term property investments. Likewise, individuals at different life stages, such as students, young professionals, and retirees, benefit from the ability to move freely. Renters can shift from urban apartments to suburban homes and beyond, ensuring their housing remains aligned with their personal goals and circumstances. Flexibility isn't just a personal benefit, it's a global phenomenon. Cities like London and Berlin highlight how renting supports dynamic, fast-paced lifestyles. In these urban hubs, renters account for a significant portion of the population, relying on the private rental sector to navigate opportunities and challenges. Families, renting offers the chance to move closer to better schools, adjust to growing household sizes, or explore neighbourhoods with vibrant communities. Young professionals benefit from the freedom to pursue career opportunities in different parts of the city, without being tied down to a single location. This flexibility enhances urban living by enabling people to adapt their housing to fit their needs. Renting empowers residents to embrace the full spectrum of possibilities that city life has to offer. Owning a home often comes with hidden costs beyond the initial purchase price. Homeowners spend significant time and money on maintenance, whether it's fixing leaks, replacing appliances, or managing landscaping. These expenses add up, consuming resources that could otherwise be used for more rewarding ventures. For example, the time and money spent repairing a roof could be redirected toward building a business, pursuing higher education, or investing in high-growth markets. This is known as the opportunity cost of home ownership. Every dollar spent maintaining a property is a dollar not invested elsewhere. One of the most significant financial advantages of renting is the ability to reduce upfront costs. Unlike home ownership, which often requires a hefty down payment, renting comes with minimal initial expenses. This enables renters, especially those in earlier life stages, to save and invest in opportunities that may yield higher returns than real estate. Consider this. Instead of locking tens of thousands of dollars into a property, renters can allocate their savings toward diversified investments such as stocks, bonds, or entrepreneurial ventures. These markets often offer greater liquidity and higher potential growth than real estate, allowing renters to build wealth more efficiently over time. The real estate market is known for its highs and lows, making home ownership a potentially risky endeavour. From fluctuating property values to unexpected market downturns, Owning a home can tie up your capital in an unpredictable asset. Renting, on the other hand, provides the financial flexibility to maintain liquidity. Without the burden of mortgage payments or the risk of losing value on a property, renters are better positioned to respond to life's opportunities. Whether that's pursuing career growth, starting a business, or seizing investment deals, renting gives you the freedom to allocate your money where it works hardest for you, instead of being tied up in a single volatile asset. One of the greatest advantages of renting is the freedom to explore different lifestyles without the long-term commitment of home ownership. Whether it's moving to a vibrant city, trying out life in a peaceful countryside, or experiencing a new type of housing, renting gives people the chance to find what suits them best. For instance, young professionals might spend a year renting in a downtown high-rise, immersing themselves in the energy of city life. Later, they might shift to a quieter neighborhood to enjoy more space or a different pace of living. Renting allows individuals to experiment, discover, and refine their preferences before making a permanent investment in property. Renting also allows renters to embrace innovative housing models. Many renters use this opportunity to try creative living solutions, such as co-living arrangements or eco-friendly apartments. Co-living spaces, for example, are gaining popularity among young professionals and digital nomads. These spaces foster community, reduce costs, and provide shared amenities like co-working areas and recreational spaces. Similarly, eco-friendly rentals appeal to environmentally conscious individuals who want to minimize their carbon footprint by living in energy-efficient homes or buildings designed for sustainability. Adapting to a new city or country can be challenging, but renting makes the process smoother. Whether you're moving for work, education, or personal reasons, renting allows you to acclimate to the cultural and economic conditions of your new locale without the pressure of buying a home. Renters can explore local neighborhoods, immerse themselves in the community, and adjust to the pace of life in a new environment. This flexibility is particularly valuable for expatriates, students, and professionals who want to ease their transition into a new cultural context. Renting allows you to make informed decisions about where to live long-term while embracing the unique experiences of your surroundings. Home ownership, often perceived as a hallmark of stability and financial prudence, can also present significant challenges. These include financial inflexibility, psychological burdens, and an emotional commitment that limits rational decision-making. Owning a home can make it difficult to take advantage of career opportunities in different cities or regions. Selling a property is often time-consuming and costly, especially in volatile housing markets. For homeowners, the process of relocation often means navigating real estate commissions, staging costs, and market fluctuations, not to mention the emotional burden of waiting for a buyer. Renters, by contrast, have the agility to move quickly when opportunity calls. Whether it's for a promotion, a dream job, or simply a better quality of life, renters can relocate with ease, unencumbered by the burdens of home ownership. This flexibility is particularly valuable in today's fast-paced job market, where agility can make all the difference in pursuing success. Housing values are often closely tied to the health of the local economy. When a region experiences economic decline, such as the loss of major employers or an industry downturn, property values can plummet. For homeowners, this creates a double bind. Not only is their biggest investment devalued, but they may also find themselves financially and emotionally stuck in a struggling community. Renters, however, can sidestep these risks. Without the burden of a depreciating property, renters retain the freedom to move to thriving economic centres or pursue better opportunities elsewhere. Renting offers a level of economic resilience that home ownership often cannot, enabling individuals to protect their financial stability in uncertain times. The financial strain of home ownership doesn't just impact the wallet. It takes a toll on mental and physical health as well. Studies show that high levels of housing-related debt, such as a mortgage, are closely linked to increased psychological stress. Homeowners carrying significant debt often report higher rates of anxiety, depression, and even physical health problems like hypertension and chronic fatigue. This emotional burden can erode the quality of life and strain relationships, creating a ripple effect that impacts both personal and professional well-being. Renting, by contrast, eliminates the long-term debt associated with home ownership, allowing individuals to focus on their health and happiness, instead of being weighed down by financial stress. Home ownership often goes beyond a financial investment. It's an emotional one. Many people see their homes as extensions of their identity, tied to memories of family gatherings, personal projects, and milestones. While this attachment is natural, it can sometimes create resistance to selling, even when it's the most financially prudent decision. This emotional resistance can lead to missed opportunities, such as moving to a more practical home or relocating for better career prospects. Renting, by contrast, allows individuals to enjoy a home without becoming too emotionally anchored to it, making transitions smoother and more practical. Well, at least for some. When emotions take center stage, financial decisions can become cloudy. The emotional ties to a home can make decisions like downsizing, relocating, or even renovating harder than they need to be. For instance, a homeowner might delay downsizing because they can't bear to part with a place full of memories, even when a smaller home would save them money and better suit their current needs. Renters, on the other hand, can approach housing decisions with more clarity. They're not weighed down by sentimental ties, allowing them to make choices based on what's best for their financial and practical needs. Mortgage debt, often marketed as an essential path to home ownership and wealth accumulation, can be misleading in its financial implications. Homeowners face challenges such as prolonged interest payments, illiquidity of assets, and missed investment opportunities. Most homeowners don't realize that mortgage payments are designed to benefit the lender first. This is due to a process called amortization, where payments are front-loaded with interest. In the early years of a mortgage, a significant portion of your monthly payment goes directly to paying off interest, leaving only a small amount to build equity in the home. For example, in a typical 30-year mortgage, it can take over a decade before meaningful equity starts to accumulate. During this time, homeowners are essentially paying for the privilege of borrowing, with minimal financial gain for themselves. This structure ensures that lenders recover their profits first, while homeowners carry the burden of debt for years. When you add up the total cost of a long-term mortgage, the numbers can be staggering. Studies have shown that over the life of a typical 30-year mortgage, interest payments can nearly double the original loan amount. This means that homeowners often pay far more for their property than it's worth, reducing the financial efficiency of the investment. Renting, on the other hand, avoids these long-term inefficiencies. Without the burden of decades of interest payments, renters have the opportunity to allocate their resources toward more flexible and higher-yielding investments such as savings accounts, stocks, or even education. These alternatives provide financial growth without the hidden costs of mortgage debt. Unlike liquid assets like cash or stocks, home equity isn't readily accessible. To use the value tied up in a home, homeowners often have to borrow against it through options like refinancing, home equity loans, or lines of credit. This process introduces additional debt, interest payments, and risks. For instance, during periods of economic uncertainty, declining home values or stricter lending requirements can make it harder or even impossible to access equity. Renters, by contrast, maintain greater financial flexibility with liquid assets that can be used at a moment's notice without incurring new liabilities. Even when homeowners successfully tap into their equity, it comes at a cost. Refinancing fees, interest rates on home equity loans, and transaction costs can significantly reduce the actual value of the equity being accessed. For example, refinancing typically involves closing costs that can amount to thousands of dollars, not to mention the added interest paid over time. These hidden expenses erode the perceived wealth tied to home ownership, turning what seems like an asset into a financial burden. Renters, on the other hand, avoid these complications entirely, giving them the freedom to manage their finances without hidden fees or debt traps. Contrary to popular belief, housing markets aren't always stable. Historical data shows that property values can swing wildly, especially during economic downturns. Take the 2008 financial crisis, for example, when millions of homeowners saw their properties lose significant value almost overnight. These fluctuations expose homeowners to financial risk that isn't often considered when purchasing a property. While homes may appreciate over the long term, there are no guarantees, especially when local economies or global markets take a downturn. Renters, on the other hand, are insulated from these risks. Without a financial anchor tied to unpredictable market forces, they can weather economic storms with greater stability. When we look at long-term financial outcomes, studies reveal a surprising truth. Renters who invest their savings into diversified assets often come out ahead of homeowners burdened by property costs. Home ownership comes with hidden expenses, maintenance, taxes, and interest payments that can eat away at potential returns. Renters, by contrast, can invest their surplus funds into higher yield options like stocks or mutual funds, which typically outperform real estate over time. By avoiding the high costs of home ownership, renters gain the flexibility to grow their wealth through smarter, more diversified investments. The choice between renting and owning a home is complex. shaped by financial, emotional, and lifestyle factors. Renting often offers greater flexibility, reduced financial burdens, and the freedom to experiment with different living arrangements. On the other hand, owning a home can anchor individuals to debt, limit liquidity, and disguise financial constraints as wealth. Through the exploration of renting benefits, the hidden traps of home ownership, and the challenges of mortgage debt, it is clear that the American dream of home ownership may not universally serve everyone. Ultimately, the best choice depends on personal circumstances, financial goals, and risk tolerance. Armed with this information, you can make informed decisions about whether to rent or own, aligning their housing choices with their broader aspirations for stability, wealth, and freedom.